It's new comic book day. Time to go get the new pulls for the new week of August 5th, 2026. So guys, it is new comic book day. What book are y'all most looking forward to in the new comic book week? I would say mine is definitely Absolute Superman, but there's some other cool issue ones coming out this week, most notably, at least in my opinion, Chachu, a new series written by Aman Vellani. I'm very interested to see how she's going to do. She, of course, wrote the Miss Marvel series quite some time ago, but now she's going back into the comic book gang. Let me know what you guys thought of her original series with Miss Marvel and what y'all are going to think about this issue 1 called Chachu. Are you picking it up or are you going to pass it? And are we ready for Absolute Metallo? Really looking forward to the debut of that character. I think it's going to be really, really cool. But before we fully get to the comic book store, gotta, of course, get the beverage for every new comic book day. So I'm going to go inside, get a bev. I'll show you guys what I get, and then we'll finally make it to the local comic shop. All right, so we got the classic White Monster. I don't know, it's just always my go-to. It's just so good, so delicious. If you guys drink energy drinks, what's your go-to energy drink? Are you drinking one while you're watching this? Let me know down in the comments. I'm actually pretty interested. And we have made it to Collected Comics and Games. Time to go get the pulls from the inside and show you what I got when I get back home. All right, guys, we made it back to the house. Got to show you at least the DC Connect before we get into the stack. These are always big things to pick up. I highly recommend them. They're typically free. I'm pretty sure they're free at every local comic shop. It basically just tells you what's coming out in the month of October and things to look forward to. So all these previews of all these other series, Lobo, Deadman, and of course their big reveals that they did at San Diego Comic-Con with their All-In Saga, Darkseid versus the World, a huge one-shot coming out for the All-In Saga, as well as the Demon issue 1. They revealed the creative teams for that. James Harden is doing the Demon, or James Harden, excuse me. Jonah Hex and the Shadow of Death is going to be done by Michael Walsh, both written and the artist. I think it's really intriguing that at least 2 out of the 4 of their next new series coming out for DC are all with somewhat similar, are done with the same writer and artist, like they are the same person. They're doing both. I don't really know how to explain it. But there's also Doom Patrol and Teen Titans coming out. Can't wait to get around to those books. Let's show you what I actually fully picked up for the week of August 5th, 2026. Got them all out of their bag, and it's a decent little haul this week. Nothing too insanely crazy, but of course it's still upwards of, I believe, 15 plus books. So starting off with the top, we have Absolute Superman issue 22. This is a massive book because it's going to introduce Absolute Metallo into this series, and Metallo is always one of the biggest rivals when it comes to Superman. This is also a new story starting here. You're going to get Brainiac as well in this issue. Superman still going off of defeating Shazam and also Hawkman. We saw Absolute Steel. It's going to be really interesting. Jason Aaron cooking so far with this series. I'm really trying to fix the glare for you guys because I know the glare can be extremely annoying sometimes with these comic books. That looks good. There we go. Absolute Superman. Next, we have the accessories. Now, this is an issue 1 from Rocket Ship Entertainment. This is written by David DeSmalchin, so I picked it up, but it's also a pretty interesting concept. You have 3 typically side characters with Mr. Hyde, Frankenwoman, and oh my gosh, I'm blanking out on his name. He just had a new movie. Renfield, Igor Renfield and Mrs. Hyde. Essentially, they are going to become the accessories, and it's mainly to do with all of their people that they look up to, like Frankenstein and Dracula and whatnot. And they're going to become the main characters. So it's an interesting concept. David Smoltron's attached to it, so I got it. Interested to read about it. This will definitely be on buy or sell. Next, we have Batman, issue number 12. This is big because we're getting the debut, the first ever appearance of Verity Pennyworth. Is she going to be good for Batman, or is she going to be negative? Interesting to see how she came about, how she found Batman. I wonder if we're going to dive into that, as well as the Vandal Savage storyline continuing as we get closer and closer to Bad Seeds coming in September. This is probably going to lead somewhat directly into that. Next, we go over to Dynamites and we have Ben 10. This is issue number 4. I believe this is the Eric Canetti cover, and it is. So we're going to get the Clown in this issue. We're going to dive into more and more characters. I believe we're going to get Stinkfly as well as Accelerator in this issue, the first appearances of them as Ben is still trying to learn the Omnitrix. Will it be good? Will it be bad? I don't know, but this series has been pretty solid so far. If you're a fan of Ben 10, I would definitely pick this up. It's definitely more age appropriate for adults, but I'm sure some kids would still love this, as horror is somewhat of a trend right now. Next, we have issue 2 of Bloodwire. This is the romance book slash kind of dystopian book of following a human woman, or at least the appearance of a human woman, with a female robot. There is definitely some explicits in this book, as I opened it up and it showed a pair of boobs, but it's still been a solid issue 1. Now with this issue 2, I'm looking to see a little bit more backstory about what's going on. Is it really just a battle between robots and humans, or is it just the battle of trying to become respected and given not necessarily purpose, but just freedom as a robot? I'm interested in it. We'll see if issue 2 lets me keep reading it. But we do have an issue 1. We have Chachu issue 1. This is the Aman Vellani book. Not quite sure what it was about, but I just saw Aman Vellani was attached to it. And the artist is pretty solid as well, Mariana Ignazi. And it looks really cool. The artwork inside looks solid enough. The lettering looks okay, maybe a little different, but overall, I'm just looking forward to reading a new issue 1 from Image, and Aman Vellani. Looks like an interesting concept, and the artwork looks solid. Next, we have issue 3 of The Dead Man. This is cover C, the Chris Ward variant. I think it looks pretty cool if I don't say so myself. This is continuing with Dead Man trying to investigate this alien creature who is, or not alien, but mythological creature that is killing people before they can ascend to the heavens. And Dead Man's doing some investigating. Martin Morazzo and Maxwell Prince do this series. So if you're familiar with the Iceman, the Ice Cream Man, then you'll probably like this book. That looks like a lot of reading. Okay, that might be a little bit of a long read for me. The Dead Man, issue 3. We have JSA, issue 22. A new Spectre is rising. I feel like this book is going to be huge, kind of looking forward to the All-In saga. It's been pretty entertaining. Jeff Lemire and Diego Olortega have made this series pretty interesting. I've actually enjoyed it somewhat, learning some more about Alan Scott and all these new, I guess, legacy characters trying to find a name for themselves and their personalities. It's been fun, and trying to find out who's going to be the next Spectre. Will it just go back to Alan Scott, or will somebody else step up and take the reins of the Spectre? Next, we have the Mask, or not the Mask, but Mask, Mobile Armored Strike Command. This is issue 3. We're following, it looks to be Mayhem more in this issue, Miles Mayhem, the sergeant that went rogue and is going to be a huge villain in the Energon universe, specifically with this Mask title. The artwork has been very good. The action is kept up, and I mean, that is a beautiful looking 2-page spread from the artist Pi Par. So it's been solid. And if you're more into, I guess, technology, this is more a book I feel suited for Iron Man fans. I think this is really cool, a really good concept, and a lot of the Mobile Armored Strike Command is focused around these vehicles that are extra, I mean, just overpowered, really. It's really cool. Next, we have an oversized issue of Royals. This is issue 5, the penultimate issue to the series finale coming out next month. This series has been very good. It follows two brothers who can speak telekinetically, but apparently they're not the only ones who can do that. They are being tracked down, and an evil pair of twins who think that they are above everybody. Well, they are killing off these twins, they're splitting them essentially. Killing one, letting one live by itself, because that fixes everything and they lose their powers or whatever. It's an interesting concept. I like it. It's been really entertaining. And I love the brotherly bond that they do not have, but they're slowly growing it in this series. It's been really good. Next, we go over to Marvel, have a good run here. We have ASM issue 34, legacy numbering 998. Going to get Spider-Man facing Electro in this issue, as Aunt May continues to struggle with her announcement of her actual kid, the cousin that we saw in a couple earlier issues, whenever they had the talk. But we're at least getting Electro in this issue. It's been a little while since we've seen Electro, at least it feels like, and it looks like it's going to be a classic villain fight. So I'm looking forward to it. Electro's a really cool villain. Just watched Spider-Man No Way Home last night to get ready for me to go see Spider-Man Brand New Day today. So let me know down in the comments if you guys like that movie. But this is ASM issue 34. Next, we have Captain America issue 14, Hell's Angel part 3. Still have Captain America in a coma, and he's battling in hell to get back to, I guess, just the real reality, the normal reality that he's lived at his whole life. And he's battling between Victor Von Doom, Mephisto, and all these different characters to get there. But he has to form some alliances to get there, and also Red Skull's involved, but we've barely really seen him. I feel like we could use a little bit more of Red Skull in this series and in this issue in particular. I feel like he's kind of just being thrown to the side when he should be one of the main characters in a Captain America book, at least a little bit. Next, we have Fantastic Four, the 65th year anniversary. This will be on my buy or sell just because it's a oversized issue, letting you know whether it's worth it, whether it gives a really good homage to the Fantastic Four, with Ryan North and Humberto Ramos on this issue. Looks like we're just going to dive into the history of the Fantastic Four, and Johnny Storm's mustache is going to save the universe. Not quite sure how that's going to happen, but I'm looking forward to reading how it's going to happen. Next, we have an issue 1 that will be talked about on Buy or Sell. This is Fort Psycho. What is this about? I could not tell you, but this is the D cover. Another Oni Press book. I've liked what they've been putting out recently. This is written by Matt Kint, and the artist is Brian Hurt. Here is the art on the interior. It looks pretty solid, but essentially I think it's a fort that is run by villains, and there's going to be this hero that comes along, and he's going to overtake the fort. A lot of action, it appears, at least in this opening issue. Looks really interesting. I'll let you guys know if it's worthy of your money on my buy or pass on Friday. So make sure you tune in to that video. Next, we have Iron Man issue number 8. Carmen Carnero is back on the artwork for this series as Whiplash enters into the frame. Gonna see how he grows into this bigger villain than he typically is, gets these newfound powers, who gives him those newfound powers, and how Tony's growing with this new group that he's created of super geniuses that are looking to better the world. Also got War Machine back in last issue. See how his relationship gets deeper with Tony here. And also Tony's love life. How is that going to go down in this issue with Tony just trying to be a role model for this new woman's kid? Interested to see how it's going to go down here in issue number 8. 2 more books left. We have Ripcord issue 5, the series finale for this title, written by Cullen Bunn. The artist is Aneki. We're getting down to the wire as the main character, Dylan, I always forget what her name is. I believe it's Dylan. She's still looking for her sister, but she's found at least the headquarters of where she should be getting kept. This has been more of a slaughter book. She's essentially just killing all these evil villains, goons, or whatever you want to call them, and trying to find her sister. Looks like she's going to find her, but are they going to make it out alive? Who's going to die and who's not? in this issue. Can't wait to find out. But another series wrapping up with Ignition Press. It's been solid so far. I mean, I made it the whole way, so we'll see how it wraps up. And last but certainly not least, we have Wade Wilson Deadpool. This is issue number 7 as we get closer to his little mini event with big guns with him and Punisher. But Wade Wilson found all these bad pools in the sewer who are essentially recreations of him after they got sawed off of his body from whatever it was that caused him to lose limbs. And they started growing in the sewers, and they want to take over his life and take over Blind Al because they want Blind Al. But Wade Wilson going to try to stop that, see what he does, because you can't just kill them because he's essentially invulnerable. We'll see how he goes about it, and it's probably going to go poorly if we're being honest. Benjamin Percy is the writer on that series with the artist Alex Lins. But guys, let me know down in the comments what book you are most looking forward to in this new comic book week. But remember, read those comics panel by panel. I hope you all get exactly what you wanted for this new comic book day. Have a great rest of it. I'll see you on Friday for my Buyer Pass.